What's up, fellas? Got something new in, some good old HGV. This is just the grow, but I have 25 pound bags of the grow, the base, and the flour. I'm going to be mixing up at the max concentrate level or maximum solubility, which is 25 pounds into 10 gallons of water. Got myself some 15-gallon buckets. Got 8 gallons in here so far. I'm going to pour the entire bag in and get the mixing. And here we go. Got the full 10 gallons, full 25-pound bag. All right, so looks like we got ourselves a nice stock concentrate after some thorough heavy mixing. And I'll be basically using this container to fill up my 2-gallon buckets. So this should last me a decent amount of time. I should be able to get a fair amount of plants left. I'm going to be running probably pretty much exclusively HGV and crop salt. Probably not necessarily in a side-by-side, like a true side-by-side, but more of a comparison. So I will be doing comparisons, not necessarily a side-by-side. But I will like to offer some of my initial thoughts and comparisons versus the two. So basically with HGV, it's a three-part. It's a grow, a base, and a flour. So throughout growth to I'd say maybe up to end of stretch and flour, you're going to be running the grow and the base. So you're always using 2 parts at one time. You're never using 3 parts. They don't recommend any additives or any special flushes, just kind of dropping down the EC. Whereas with crop salt, same thing. You're running 2 parts all the way through. You're running your veg A and B all the way through until about day 21-ish of flour. Then you're running their bloom A and B, so there's really no base. And then at the end, from about, depending strain specific, about day 48 to 50 until chop, you're gonna run just cake. So you're running a 1 part. Now with the HGV at the 25-pound bag to 10 gallons of water, that full solubility, you're running somewhere around that, I wanna say about 30 mils per gallon. Actually, let me double check. Okay, so for the max strength, which is the highest you can go for it to be able to kind of solubilize in water, is going to be 2.5 pounds a gallon. Recommended is probably somewhere around 2.5 to 3 EC is probably where you're going to be running. They don't really have a feed chart per se, like a lot of the other nutrient companies do, or most other nutrient companies do. So I'm probably going to be falling somewhere around that 22 to 25 mils per gallon, and probably towards the end, maybe towards my flush, instead of where I would normally run the cake, I'll probably just drop down to maybe 2 EC, somewhere around there. I'll see how they do. I mean, I'll have to test some batches at 2.5 and test some at 2, but I'll probably sit right around that 2 EC till chop. Then if you want to make it a little bit less concentrated, you're going to up the mils. So to kind of make it comparable to crop salt, if you're running the 3.0 EC, you're going to be doing it at 2 pounds a gallon. Which if you're doing 25-pound bags, I mean, if you want to dump the whole bag and make life a little bit simpler, you might as well just run it at this ratio. So I would say the only thing that I would personally like to see from HGV would be where some of the other companies do it. I know they offer the 2.5-gallon jugs that are kind of like already weighed out and you can just add water, and that's cool. But I wish they had an in-between where I could probably use this much, maybe not per shot, but to keep it fresh. You know, it'd be nice if they offered a 5-pound bag or a 10-pound bag. Something then where you can add into, maybe, 5 gallons of water, or have something pre-measured out for 5 gallons. Because realistically, probably about 5 gallons will probably be good for me for a run, let's say. So I would like to see that. If anyone from HGV sees this, I would love to see a 5 or 10 pound bag of HGV, or like a pre-measured amount for, let's say, just 5 gallons. Or maybe some for guys that want to run 1 gallon. Have a kind of a bag set up. I know you had, well, basically you kind of got the jug. So I guess you already got the 1 gallon and a 2.5 gallon guys figured out. But I'd say, for the guys that want to run 5 gallons, that would be nice. Outside of that, I can't really make any other comparisons because I haven't ran HGV yet. I did have some other samples that I ran on some veg plants and some moms, and the health was great. I did also feed to some clones at right around 2.5 EC. So, and they were looking good. But basically what I'm going for is, for me, it's always about end product result. So be kind of curious to see how I feel about this compared to crop salt. Maybe at some point I'd like to do an accurate side-by-side in the same room and environment. But for right now, I'm probably not. It's going to be a comparison where it's going to be like, okay, well, I ran, let's say, for example, RS11 plenty of times. So I know what to expect. I know typically what I yield on it, and I know what the end product is like. So I'm curious to see if I see any differences. So far from everything that I've ran, my best nutrients still so far to date in terms of like the dry powders have been crop salt, still number one. I got to give a good honorable mention to Front Row Ag. They make awesome products as well. And I got some really good results with Cutting Edge Louder Powder. So they're another good one. But for me, so far, I pick crop salt over any of those. Another one that I would like to try, I've ran the liquid line of the Drip Hydro. I've gotten some really good results, and I was in some impressive yields. So maybe at some point I'll grab some Drip Hydro powders. I tried to reach out to them, but unfortunately they're only out for, looking to throw samples to the big guys. So I may have to. I don't mind spending out of pocket, but it's not on my list of priorities. I have plenty of HGV, crop salt, and front row to run, so I'm good to go with that for now. But yeah, hopefully you guys tune in. I'll keep you updated. I'll be sharing some updates from within veg as well as flour. I'll be running everything crop salt and HGV and Pro Mix, so looking forward to it. I think I'm gonna, I'm gonna have some good results with HGV. And I already know crop salt crushes every time. So thanks for tuning in. Peace.